started on that, sounds good. We'll call the meeting of the transit, committee together, roll call, we'll, make a note that, Gretchen is not here. No, Gretchen is here, and I guess the only one we're missing is Chair, Cracknell. So, and we have Deborah Nichols sitting in for John Mans. So, and we all had a chance to read the minutes.
I make a motion to be approved the minutes as presented.
Motion's been made. Is there a second? Second. Is there any questions or discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, carried. Do we have any public comment? Evidently not. Okay, we'll go right into Austin's report.
All right. Transit Commission meeting 1/10/2024. Agenda today, not too many subjects, but we'll go in depth on a little bit since it's the end of the year and get you on the highway. Ridership, doorstop and red seat ridership took a downturn in November with a lot of the warm temps, and we saw an upswing back coming here in December. Ridership increased from 371 in November to 463 in December, up 25%, and we have one less service day. Looking at community, increased from 1174 in November to 1244 in December, uptick of 6%, same amount of service days. Stout route ridership decreased from 956 in November to 8672 in December, down 13%. But looking at the service days, 5 less service days, we actually are up 18% ridership per day.
Would that make any difference? You compare like December to last December?
We'll
Okay.
go through that too, but yes, it
It makes more sense because November's got more days.
Yep.
And December with the holidays in there.
We had, and we were done with the stout route this year a little bit. I think the classes went a little bit closer to Christmas, just how that,
Okay.
the weeks turned out.
Sorry.
And, it's all good. And now we will look back at, every month, every year versus previous years. So we've been looking at this chart, comparing this month to previous 3 months, as well as looking back at the previous years, and looking up at the annual totals of this year compared to past 8 years. It's right in the thick of it, but the upswing since 2020 has been good. A little shy versus last year by about 300 riders, but looking strong there and looking forward to this next year. Stout route ridership. So we have we have gold and silver stars looking at the best year we've had in that month, or second best year. And we've gotten most of them other than these last 2 months of this year. It was extremely warm in November, and so we haven't had any snow. But looking at the spring, we just hammered the numbers compared to even the second best year, almost beating it by over 10,000. This fall was just pretty warm and no snow, so to our best year, it's down about 7,500. But still strong and strong September and a strong October. So it'll, after we get the spring, we can put together those academic totals. But looking at last spring and last fall, that was a great year that we had on Scout Route ridership. Community ridership and Community Saturday ridership. Quieter fall, but looking back at the whole year, this is where we started ridership fairs as well, bringing back the $1 rise of the punch cards in September, but ridership didn't drop off. So great ridership through the fall on the Community Saturday as well. The best ridership by about double that we've had on a year for Community Saturday. Okay, so the normal type of format that I give for PDFs, I wasn't capturing the month 13 through 16, that's January, that's this month for charges that occurred in December kind of thing. So I'd go back to this format to show some fuel billing and some payroll that hit in January, but was for 2023. Because otherwise it would have showed a little more savings for you, and this is the more accurate picture. So 27,000 to the good. Was still about 4.5% of our budget remaining for 2023. And passenger fares is the main one here that we always try to look for and how close we got. The rest is all pretty straightforward on what we get every year, what's known. But passenger fares is 12% light, and we still have some agency billings that'll equate to probably around $2,000 that need to be deposited here when we get paid for those for the month of December. And so we should be shored up very nicely. And in previous years, we were looking close to 20 to 30% light on our ridership income. So this will be in the 90s, if not real close to 100%, which is awesome. I haven't seen that since I've been here of what we've forecasted, and then I think we'll be in great shape for 2024 with ridership fares getting a whole year on community, as well as the doorstop first increase in 10 years. So we're looking good.
When does the Wistop catch up?
That they paid us for quarters 1 and 2, and things are submitted for quarter 3 with them. And quarter 4 I'll submit this month. So the last 2 checks from them should be coming in here before April. That's when our stuff closes off. Yeah. All right, around the shop. Every time that we've had DPF codes, that's the diesel particulate filter. Very hard to, they don't regen, especially some of those first few years of those 6, 7 diesels that we have when they're just driven around in town. So they're always throwing codes, and every time we have to take them to Northtown Ford, it's $300 to get a manual regen done. We've been looking for a good scanner that has the capability to do that, and we found good reviews with this one for $500. So we did 3 regens first day we had it, so it paid for itself in half of, or yeah, one and a half of those bus regens. So it's awesome and a great tool. So been on the lookout for a good workbench and shelving units for the shop. These were all on closeout clearance at Fleet Farm. So now we got a workbench, some heavier duty shelves. Those plastic ones don't hold up very well when you're putting gallon containers on them. And so that's been nice to have for us, and things are a lot more organized. And then Dustin wouldn't let us use his washer. So I'm just kidding. Well, that was a little heavy duty for us. But we got been looking for one of these for a couple of years. But there's not one that really was a good fit or really expensive. This is right around $1,000 and right on Amazon. A company out of Chicago built it. It just popped up and plumbed it in right to our pressure washer hose system, so we can get detergent through this, we can get hot water through this.
Nice.
And it uses the same wireless remote as the pressure washer we got, and does a real good job. So you can even use it with the power washer on. So that was awesome. It's a little too far down the road for some of these buses for this to make a big difference with some of them. It's 2017 that we got. But some of the new ones that we got will really, really help when it just gets done every Tuesday, Thursday so excited. That's been on the wish list for a while. Oh, and then around the office, the floors aren't as bad as it looks. That's with the etching being done, the floor stripper on the clear coat. But finally, we reached out to the facilities team and through their new portal that they got to make a maintenance request, and they're doing it yesterday, today, and tomorrow, and that's the finished product on the right side. So you need your floors done. They do a really good job. We had our 5-year review came up that we just got this last month here, and I'm not going to have that much information in February, so that's about a 40-page report, and I can hit on the bullet points with that in the February meeting. And we're meeting with the Scout group this afternoon for the upcoming semester, and any feedback from first semester. That meeting's this afternoon. So I'll have more from that meeting next month.
That 5-year review, that's a WISDOT review?
That's WISDOT review and federal review that third party came in here in December and went through everything from our rates, file storage, and EDA compliance and stuff like that. How we stack up in cost per ride for what we're getting for ridership. I guess the hard part is that data they're using is from 2016 to 2021, and we've had data for 2022, but that's as early as they would go with it. So it doesn't paint the best picture. I wish that it would show the great ridership that we've had, but that'll come in the next one. It still shows good information, but it's already a lot of data.
Is that your report then? Anybody got any other questions?
Question? Cause it's supposed to be getting cold now. So just roughly, how many bus shelters do you have, and what are the future plans for adding any more, or are we kind of all done adding bus shelters?
Yeah, that was through a WISDOT grant for shelter infrastructure. So those were part of that. We don't have a grant currently for more,
Okay.
but we talked about the CBTC one maybe moving. They're splitting Bay and Dunn Center. That would be one that we could get a little bit better utilization shelters that we got on that one are getting used well. It'd be good. It'd be real nice to get one at the public library where that bench is too. But at least that's there.
So are those grants hard to get in, or you?
That was before my time
It
here.
was, ended up being about 9,000 a shelter times 9, yeah, so it's
Okay,
almost $100,000 project. By the time it's all said and done, and the city put in some in-kind flat work on that,
okay.
And the highway department put them together.
yeah, installed it for the
Yeah.
place.
Right when I started here, they're about the last ones to get installed.
Well, that's good.
Any other questions? Hearing none, no considerations for actions to be taken. Number 8, consideration for resolution and ordinances to be recommended to the county board, none. So with that, our next meeting is February 14th, and we are now adjourned.
Chance, I recommend going to the PWHL games.
Oh, yeah?
See them?
We're at,
But the women's hockey league that just started.
yeah.
I just like the fact that it doesn't say.
Are you gonna go up there and watch them?